Hello, my name is Crystal Crane, and welcome to this presentation on trauma-informed practices and a blueprint for transitioning your school to a trauma-informed environment. I want to start off talking about how typical schools use things such as the zero tolerance policy. And one of the things that a trauma-informed educational environment enforces and encourages is the idea of relationships. And so often, and I want to start us off just thinking about this concept. So often, schools that have a zero tolerance policy, their ideas are my way or the highway. And we now know that through research that zero tolerance policy is actually zero relationship policy. And we now know that the single most important variable in a child's ability to break free from their traumatic background or their environment and spiraling down that damaging path is one caring relationship with a caring adult. And so I just want to begin this and launch our conversation saying that gone are the days of zero tolerance, gone are the days of my way or the highway. It is really imperative that we are seeing students as people and taking a holistic approach to their education, which includes understanding and working with them based off of their background and their adverse childhood experiences. So the following presentation is a blueprint for how your school and our school can transition and adopt some of those ways. The first key is the staff that we implement. So who are we bringing on staff? What type of leadership team are we creating? So for our school, we would be focusing on having trauma-informed professionals that are at the forefront of leading our team into a successful climate change. So this looks like having a trauma-informed counselor or practitioner that is able to staff the in-school suspension room or the calm room, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, and also having a student resource officer that has a trauma-informed background. So it is not a me against you relationship, but they are all about seeing students as whole people and using their background to help facilitate the community and uphold the new values that we are looking to enforce. A second key strategy that we're looking to implement is the idea of a book study. What's so great about a book study is as the group of people is going through and studying the material, there's so much that you can do through it, and you're really learning and growing together. And so the idea behind this is twofold. First is to obviously understand the trauma-informed practices and really cultivate a heart and an understanding for why we are moving in this direction as a school. And second, it is also one of the building blocks of relationships. We are cultivating relationships amongst our staff and the administration and really ensuring that we are facilitating a strong community environment, because that is going to ensure success in the long run for our goals in a paradigm shift in our school. The key fundamental building block of this program is ensuring that relationships are being built. So that is having mentorship program between teachers and students that's taking students of concern under our wings and really helping to nurture and pour into them so that they have a safe place where they feel that they can take risks and thrive and be genuine and honest. Along with that is building relationships among staff, making sure that staff feel supported, they're not in this shift alone, and that administration and personnel really do have their best interests, because the more that we are intertwined as a family and really creating that family safe community, the better that this is going to overall work for our school. So while we talk about relationships, having a relationship with our community, our first-time families, and our parents is also incredibly important. Therefore, one of the things we want to implement is our back-to-school days, making sure that teachers are taking the time to set appointments with families of their new students for the 2 days prior to the start of the school year, and then the weekend before the start of our school year, having a backyard barbecue, having a time where our staff and our students can come together, enjoy a meal together, break those boundaries that really create that us and them a shift, and really change that to be more family oriented, really cultivating relationship from day one. If we can help people feel like they are included and rolling out the red carpet for them and having people like student ambassadors give them tours of the school, these are all different tools and techniques that we can use and set up in order to make our school more welcoming and more approachable for new families. And this really helps, again, to establish relationship, which, once again, is one of the key founding building blocks that we are trying to achieve. The final piece of our blueprint that I want to spend some time talking about tonight is the idea of the calm corner or the in-school suspension. The whole point behind a trauma-sensitive school is helping children to learn and grow and having a more holistic approach to how we are teaching them and how we're approaching their education, right? So, an in school suspension room is just that. It's a place where we are keeping kids in school if they need to be suspended for whatever reason. There are obviously consequences to our actions, and there are some times where it is just necessary. And the point behind this is not just sending them to a place where they can get their work done and keep them in school, but really having an intentionality. So when they go back into the classroom, they're able to truly cope with whatever is going on, because if students are having violent outbursts or there being disruptions, it's because there's underlying issues. And our whole goal with this type of approach and changing and this paradigm shift is we are approaching people, not the behavior. We're not targeting students' behavior. We're targeting what they need. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is if we can meet their basic needs, education will follow, their test scores will follow. So we need to meet them as people first and foremost. This in-school suspension room would be a place that is run by a trauma-informed personnel, someone that is well versed in cultivating relationships and cultivating a safe space where that dysregulated student can come and regain and learn tools in order to regain that regulation, so that when they go back into the classroom environment, they can do that without continued assistance, that they don't need to be sent over and over to the office. They can learn those skills in the ISS room. Along with this is the calm corner or the calm room. Every classroom in the school will be equipped with a calm corner, which is essentially the same thing. It is a place where students can become regulated if they become dysregulated. This whole process is designed to help students learn how to help themselves. Students don't ever get rid of their trauma, they simply grow into it. And this is actually a quote from our book that I found incredibly profound. On page 77 of our text, The Trauma Informed School, which is the text that we will be doing as a book study, as a group, the 6 months leading up to implementing this strategy and this informed approach full on in the classroom. To wrap this presentation up, I want to thank you for your time and your interest as our school moves in the direction of a more trauma-informed approach. We value our students, we value our teachers, and we value the relationships that are being built. When we can put this first and foremost, and we can look at a student as a whole person and not just their test scores, we can begin to help them become successful human beings, to look past the trauma that they've had in their background, the traumatic, the adverse childhood experiences. They don't need to be a defining factor, and we do have the ability as educators, if we stop and we look at these children as whole people and begin to work with them and not their behaviors, we have the ability to help them completely rewrite the path that they are going down. So again, thank you for your time, thank you for listening, and I look forward to starting on this journey with you.